Hey girlies, it's Tammy. So I'm back at you with a new video today, and today I'm going to be testing these two new palettes from Pixi Beauty. I received this package today actually, and I thought I'd test it for you guys. So first we have the Pixi plus It's Judy Time, which is this lovely lady right here. I believe she is a YouTuber and she's created a eye palette. I did check the website and she's also created a lipstick palette, but this is the one I received. So I'm going to do an eye look using this. And then I also received this palette, which is by Pixi x Mariam Maquillage. I believe she's also a YouTuber or an Instagrammer. So yeah, she created this palette, which is called the Strobe and Bronze Glow and Bronze palette, which looks like that. So you get 3 highlighters in, or 4 highlighters in here, and 2 matte bronzer contour colors here. So we're just going to test this out. So I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palette by It's Judy Time. So the packaging looks like this. It is £28, like I said. I believe Pixi is a UK brand, so you can buy it on Pixi's website as well as Cult Beauty, I think I saw it on. Oh, and Look Fantastic stock it as well, so it's quite readily available in the UK. I'm not quite sure about the US, but It's Judy Time is a USA YouTuber, I believe, so I'm pretty sure that it must be available in the USA. So it's a day to night palette, so of course you do get neutral tones up there and then more smoky tones down here. I mean, just based on first impressions, it does look really nice, because I do like deep dark colors and these seem to be dark enough to show up on my skin tone, so I'm actually really excited. Okay, so it seems to come with mirror stickers. I'm not quite sure how this works. So here we have the palette. So this is the packaging. It is a clear front, and then on the back it just says the names of all of the colors. So I do like the fact, this is always the problem with palettes, I do like the fact that you can see straight through and see all of the colors, but then I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a mirror. So when you open it up, this is how the palette looks. It looks absolutely gorgeous actually. I like the fact that it has the names on the back. I'm just going to do the shimmery colors, the two. Ooh, they look gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to do the shimmery colors first. So there we have, that was very lightly touching the pan. I believe you also get a satin, 2 satins, 5 mattes, and 1 glittery black. Wow. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. Do you see that pigment? Wow. Okay, so the shimmers look absolutely gorgeous. That was the lightest touch in the pan. They look very pigmented, very promising. So now I'm gonna do the matte colors. They feel very soft and buttery in the pan. Wow. I'm gonna try to do a couple swatches for you here. So that is the light shade right here. Then there's the brown shade from here. That shade is that one. And then we have the deep dark brown, wow, which was this one here. So I still have to swatch this one. Wow, they look really good. And then last but not least, I'm gonna do the 2 satin shades. So there's this one, they almost have a slight shimmer to them, but they are kind of satin basically, not matte but not shimmer. And I'll swatch these here. So the last shade is like a black with silver glitter in it, but when you're swatching it you can barely see the silver glitter. So let me do this here. But it does look very pigmented as a black grey type of colour. So the swatches look very promising. Let's try this out on the eyes. So yeah, I'm going away with Makeup Rev next week to a Superdrug conference. Very exciting. And then I'm also going to a store opening in Liverpool. I think they're opening a new Superdrug or some form of store is opening in Liverpool. So me, Soph and Kami are going to be there as well. So if you are in the Liverpool area, feel free to come by. I'm not quite sure of the address, but pretty sure it's a Superdrug. Okay, so the first color I'm going to start with is this one right here, and that is called Honey Bear. It's like a warm toned caramel brown, and I'm just going to start blending this through the, ooh, yes, that's a gorgeous color. I love colors like these for my transition, like a warm toned, yes, and it builds gorgeously. So they blend like a dream, they build up even better. I'm loving this palette so far. So the next color I want to take is this one, but because it's a satin finish, I'm not quite sure how it's gonna look in my crease. I think it would look a bit too shimmery but I wish this color was matte because that would be gorgeous to go in with next. But because I can't, I'm gonna have to move on to this one here, which is like a kind of warm tone brown. So I'm just gonna start this on the outer V. Yeah, I thought so. This one kind of has like a washed out tone to it. Like I would have added a bit more warm tone to it if it was my palette, but of course this is probably what, you know, Judy likes to go for, so that's totally fine. It's just a bit too washed out for me. Like, it's hardly making any difference to the look. I mean, it's decent, it's decent. So now I'm gonna take a smaller brush and take this deep dark brown right here. And these two colors are very, very similar. Actually, I think this one just has a hint more warm tone and this one has a hint more cool tone, but they are very, very similar. And start packing that onto the outer V. Very pigmented. Oh, damn. And this dark brown is not as dark as I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like an almost black type of brown, but it's not. It's definitely just a dark brown. So for my lid, I'm gonna start with this gold in the middle right here. Ooh, that's pretty. Really pigmented as well. And they're not chunky shimmers. They're really quite nice, like smooth to apply. And then I'm gonna take a dab of this kind of maroon smoky color. This feels even smoother than the gold, and I'm gonna put it on the middle of the lid just because I want to test more than one shimmer. But yeah, they both kind of feel the same, like smooth on the eye. They're not gritty or chunky. Really nice shimmers, and I feel like they will be even more vibrant and pigmented if I had wet them. Okay, so I'm definitely happy with that eye look. It's a decent everyday wearable neutral look in my opinion. The palette blends gorgeously. Every single color that I used today, you know, no color let me down. Basically, they work pretty well on my eyes. They blend really nice. They apply gorgeous. They are pigmented colors. I'm still a bit about the price. I mean, £28, it's not super high end, but then again, it's not drugstore. So it's kind of in the middle. It's like a mid-range price. I mean, I'm not mad at it. You get 12 colors to work with and they are quite big pans. So I suppose £28 is not bad. I'm not jumping for it, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not breaking your bank and you are getting a decent pigmented blendable palette. So if you're into neutral palettes, I definitely recommend looking into this one. It's really nice. So I'm going to quickly do the rest of my face off camera and then I'll come back so we can contour and highlight using this palette. Okay guys, so the rest of my face is now complete. I was deciding whether or not to put on eyelashes and I decided not to because I have to go uniform shopping today and I don't want to just be overdone. So I'm going to move on to Strobe and Bronze Glow and Bronze palette. Like, what's the name? Is it Strobe and Bronze or Glow and Bronze? I mean, there's two names there. But anyways, so this is how this palette looks like. Once again, plastic packaging, you can see straight through it. That's another thing I wanted to say about this palette. Even though the eyeshadows are really good, the packaging is really kind of cheap. I mean, it does have weight to it. It's really quite weighty, but I mean, it's just plastic packaging at the end of the day. There's nothing really fancy about it. Yeah, so that's a bit pricey for the packaging, but the product is good. So anyways, moving on to this one. This one comes in the same kind of plastic see-through packaging, but this one opens sideways rather than up like the eyeshadow palette. So once you open this one up, these are what the shades look like. They looked a lot deeper yesterday when I was looking at it in real life, but now that I'm seeing it on the camera, they look really, really light. But I did see online, they do have one that looks a tiny bit deeper than this one. It's called something like Sculpt and Glow, something like that, and it does have like a deeper contour shade. But we're gonna give it a go anyway. So you get two matte kind of bronzer contour colors, then you get 4 shimmery highlight colors. It looks pretty good. All the highlighters look nice. I'm just worried about the contour shade, so let's try it out. So I'm gonna start with bronzer, and of course this is meant to be the bronzer shade, but it looks practically like my skin tone. Yeah, let's give it a try. So I'm gonna load some up on this clean brush. That is what it looks like. Yeah, that is my face powder. Yeah, this is just blending straight into my skin, because on the camera, on the monitor, it looks like I have a little bit of shadow, but in real life there's barely anything. Yeah, I definitely think this bronzer shade or contour, oh no, I dug into the highlighter. But yeah, I think this bronzer shade is definitely for lighter skin tone, so I'm gonna try this one now and see what happens. That is grey. That is like grey. I mean, it is sculpting my face ever so slightly. I can definitely see that on the camera, but in real life it just looks a tad bit too grey for me. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. So I'm going to show you the difference between this palette and what I usually use. So give me a sec. Okay, so here we have the Pixi palette at the top, obviously, and then here is the Makeup Revolution palette, which I use daily. So I hope you can see the difference. Let me hold it. Yeah, so as you can see, the Makeup Revolution ones are a lot darker. They do still have a cool tone to it, but they are a lot darker and it works a lot better for my skin tone. So yeah, I'm not living for the bronzers. So I'm quickly just going to take the Makeup Revolution one and contour my face. So I've just swatched the two bronzers here so you can see it not on my face but on my hand. So this is the lighter one and then this is the deeper one. So as you can see, a lot of grey tone to it, which will probably work gorgeous for medium and light skin, but for dark it's a no-go. So let's try these highlighters out because they look very promising. I'm going to swatch them first. So here we have the top 3 shades of highlighter. They look pretty decent. Like the reflection is really nice, pigmentation's really nice, so excited to use these. Let's give them a swatch. Ooh, oh, they look pretty. And then you get one more down here which is a bit darker, almost has a satin finish. Yeah, it's not as reflective. It's kind of like a satin, maybe blush, or a very subtle highlight. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to stay away from the pink one just because I know cool tones like that doesn't really suit my skin tone. So I'm going to try this one on this side and then this gold on this side. So this one is called Highline, very pigmented. So let's... Ooh, that looks pretty. Let's try a second layer. Oh, that looks gorgeous. I'm gonna C-shape it round. Oh, that is gorgeous. It glides over the skin so beautifully. It's like a glow from within. There's no glitter to it. It's like a gorgeous sheen. Of course, it will settle into the skin better once you've set your face with a setting spray, but my initial thoughts is that is gorgeous. So now I'm gonna go in with this gold shade, which is a tiny bit deeper, I think, and a tiny bit more golden, because this one has, it is gold, but when I swatched it, it has like a peachy tone to it as well. It's not just gold, whereas this one is just gold. Ooh, that is very reflective. Okay, so here we have the shade Lex on the cheek. It is an absolutely gorgeous reflective gold. I do kind of prefer, I mean, on the face they kind of look exactly the same, not to be funny. They both kind of, on my skin tone at least, they both appear gold. Very reflective and gorgeous. Let me put a tiny bit of that down the center of my nose. Whew, they are super pigmented. So I'm just going to quickly set my face and then I'll come back at you with my final thoughts. Okay guys, so here we have the final look. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me give you my thoughts on each individual palette. So I think I've already told you my thoughts on this palette. It is a gorgeous palette. I mean, the shade selection is amazing. The formula of the actual eyeshadows are gorgeous. They're nice and soft. They blend like a dream. They are very pigmented. I mean, they are decent eyeshadows. My only problem is the price. I think maybe 25 would have been enough. 28 is pushing it, 30, and it's kind of like 30 and it's plastic packaging. But I mean, the actual eyeshadows inside are really decent quality. It all depends on your personal preference and if you're willing to spend the £28 on this palette. So let's just pretend you had £28 spare. Would I recommend this palette to you? Definitely. If you're into neutral colors, you have £28 to spare. I mean, it's a gorgeous palette. It works really well. I would definitely recommend it. However, there are others that are cheaper from the drugstore on the market that have very similar colors, in my opinion. Neutral looks are kind of, I mean, neutral palettes are kind of everywhere. So I'm a bit about the price, but it's definitely a very good palette. Next we have the Mariam what's it called? Strobe and Bronze Glow and Bronze palette. So I would say skip this palette if you are my skin tone. The bronzers are practically, you know, unusable. The highlighters are gorgeous, but then again, if you're buying that palette just for the highlighters, you could go with the Makeup Revolution Pro Glow, which is £8 for 8 highlighters. I mean, you could not beat it, and it's bigger than this palette and the pans are bigger. So there are cheaper alternatives out there, but if you are looking into this palette and you are medium or light skin, I think every single shade in here will work for you. Of course, the lady that created this palette, Mariam, she is of a medium skin tone, I believe, so of course it will suit medium skin tones really, really well. For my personal skin tone and anyone deeper than me, this palette just, you won't use it enough to warrant the £24 you've spent. So yeah, I don't recommend this palette for deeper skin, but if you are medium skin, the formula of these actual contours and highlighters are definitely very decent. I mean, the highlighters are very glowy, as you can see. The contours will work on your skin tone. They blend kind of gorgeously and they do show up. So I mean, it is a good palette. Once again, if you have £24 to spare, would I recommend it to a light or medium skin tone? Sure. Would I recommend it to a deeper skin tone? No. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. So yeah, that is it for this video, girlies. I just wanted to pop in here at the end quickly and say thank you guys so much for your support on my anxiety video. I was so nervous to upload it, but all of the comments and the messages I received, I honestly feel like, you know, when you just feel like, oh, okay, I have some supportive girlies in my subscriber list. So thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.